Hi everyone, I'm going to give my thoughts on writing rules. Now there are a lot of rules around. You can get books from the library, you can buy books. Everyone will be saying this is the rule, this is the rule, this is the rule. You can read 1,000 books, learn nothing, learn everything, learn something. Writers' rules are not set in stone or concrete. They can be changed, they can be manipulated, they can be ignored. The one thing I will say is the one rule you should set for yourself is when it comes to writing a book, the writing rule you should absolutely stick by is spelling, punctuation, and grammar. That is the one rule you must abide by. The one thing you absolutely must make sure you do to the best of your advantage. Even if you have to use online dictionaries, Pro Writing Aid, Grammarly, they're free. Use them to the best of your ability. And don't worry about people saying, but you have to do it this way, and you have to spell this that way, and you have to lay it out this way, and you need to do A, B, and C when you should or could be doing X, Y, and Z. So take it with a grain of salt. Have a look at everything that you can read. Have a, look in groups. Look on YouTube. Everyone will have their own rules. Everyone will have their own regulations. That's just the ones they come up with. So make up your own set of rules is what you need to do. So depending on what country you're from, you will have British or English, British English, or American English. So for us, we actually keep a lot of U's in a lot of our words, and we don't drop the U from flavour or favour or, words like that, unlike Americans. So make sure that your spelling is as good as you can get it. Make sure your punctuation, and learn as you go. Get your grammar as good as you can. Mine's not the best, but then I have an editor. So you absolutely need an editor. If you can get one for free, check your local TAFEs or WEAs or uni equivalents or school equivalents. Maybe they offer classes or courses for not only you to learn, but for maybe their students for you to bring in your writing so that they can learn to edit. Who knows what you can find if you ask. If you're a member of a writers group, there might be someone who could read through it for you. If you know someone who's an English teacher, they might be able to do the same. There's plenty of ways of getting a free edit. You might be able to barter your wares, so you can read someone's books and they will edit yours. If not, and you need to get an editor, look, see, that's another thing. It's kind of like ISBNs. It's like, do you get an editor, do you don't? Some people just end up not getting one. Some people think they can do it all themselves. I get an editor. Now, there are multiple versions of editors. There's copy editors, line editors, this, that, the other. You don't need everyone, because I've heard and read about authors saying, I had 3 different edits with 3 different editor types, and I still have typos and mistakes. So it doesn't matter how many versions of editors you have, you will still end up with a typo or a mistake. So if you can find an editor who will do it, and they will correct everything. Learn from what they tell you. You don't have to take their advice if they tell you to change things, but as in, you should be writing this about this character or this about that. You don't have to listen to that, but when it comes to corrections and learning your spelling, your punctuation, your grammar, how things are done, absolutely, that should be the first writing rule for yourself. That should always come first when you write a book, poem, story, novel, novella, whatever it is. Always keep your writing rules as get my spelling, punctuation, and grammar as good as I can get it. And learn from your editor. I've learned from my editor. I used to say like a lot. Oh, it was like this and it was like that. She kept correcting me. Sally, if you see this, to as if, sometimes as though. So now I do that myself when I write my stories. So it's been a gradual correction for myself, and I've learned. So when it comes to writing rules, there will be people that say you absolutely need to do A, B, and C, and you don't. It's a give and take. They set that up for themselves. You go back to all the people that, who was it? It would be like, all the greats and the masters supposedly of centuries gone past that have said you need to do A, B, C, D, E, E. You don't. That was a different time. This is now. Get your spelling, punctuation, and grammar. Get your editor, learn as you go, use your dictionaries, use everything that's free, get as much help from around you, and don't worry about, always use contractions or always do this or always do that. You don't. You just don't. And quite frankly, I think writing rules need to change. Writing rules are archaic, and take it and leave it. That's what it is. So that's my tip on writing rules. Make up your own. That's all there is to it. Make up your own and see how traditional publishing houses put the layout of their books and go, well, if they can do that, but, you know, this rule over here says you can't, but they've done it, I can too. And that's the way it is. It's like, well, everyone's saying I can't do this, but people have done it because times have changed. And times are changing, and people are changing, and editors and everything else is changing. So take the basic rules, make up your own, throw what you don't need away, and make sure that spelling, punctuation, and grammar is your absolute first writing rule, that you get as good as you can get it, and then you get your editor.